Welcome to the Shem Show. I'm your host. I'm here with Matt Schepel here, junior right-handed pitcher at Middle Tennessee State University. How are you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing fine. Isaiah, how about yourself?
I'm doing great. We do a little bit of research. Tell us if anything is wrong. Your name is Matt Schepel, not Schepel, not Schepel. If you're guys wondering at home, it's Schepel, right?
Yeah, it is. A lot of people messed that one up, and I've just gotten used to this at this point.
And you are 6'5", 215 pounds. You are a junior right-handed pitcher at MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University, here in Tennessee. You played high school baseball at Sun Valley High School in Matthews, North Carolina, and you were the 10th ranked right-handed pitcher in the state of North Carolina, 32nd overall in the state of North Carolina, and 333rd right-handed pitcher nationally, and 500 overall player nationally. Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir. that rings a few bells, man. That's bringing up the old time me.
Oh yeah, we went from looking at max prep stuff on like football to where we had to go to perfect game now for these baseball players here.
Oh boy, yeah. Perfect games, it's good stuff, man. They do a good job with everything they did. And we had stopped. Actually, the team that I played for in high school, we stopped playing perfect game stuff like my actually headed into junior year, so my sophomore year summer of high school. And we went into a lot of our like Marushi Baseball Classic and stuff like that from the sponsorships that we had with that program. But
Oh wow.
job, some of the best tournaments I've ever played in, most fun tournaments I've ever played in. Brings back a lot of memories.
And you actually didn't start out at MTSU. You played your first 2 years of collegiate baseball at Western Carolina University. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So we stayed in Carolina. You said you're from Charlotte. Is that so? Not too far away.
No, Western was about 3 hours, and then MT is roughly about 6. But my mom lives in Asheville, so I usually just make a little halfway trip through there, stop there, get a nice home cooked meal, and then head on up here.
And then you transferred to Middle Tennessee State University, which is where you are now. And from what I've heard, you're entering the transfer portal again. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. And you've recorded an 11.2 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, and a 3.09 ERA. And you're now entering the transfer portal. We can get into some of the questions here. Why transfer from MTSU? Why are you leaving?
Yeah, so I mean, I had a meeting with the coaches, and we figured, that it would be best for me to transfer on their end and on my end. My end versus for what we had talked about was some draft reasons, but also I came in and I also didn't perform as much as they needed me to. I had some shoulder stuff that kind of flared up again that I rehabbed all summer and was perfectly fine, and then it just kind of flared up again. So, from a coaching standpoint, on their end, they'd be taking a little bit of risk, just in case that happened again with me having a scholarship and stuff. And then on my end, what we had talked about is, just going somewhere where I'll be able to pitch, throw, my 60 to 70 innings, kind of do my own thing. I train with Tread back home, and they do like a virtual thing, which I kind of invested into on my end, and I'm going to do that for the next year or so. So just being able to kind of be somewhere where I have the freedom to do that stuff, where there's not going to be any button heads or anything like that with routines or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take away from what the coaches want me to do on their end because of something I'm doing at home. So that's another thing that plays into it. But the majority of what we talked about is just get my innings in, get looked at, get drafted. Obviously, I mean, I loved it here. I loved every second of it here. It's just I didn't perform the way that they needed me to, and at the end of the day, they got a job to do, and I was okay with them doing that. I mean, it sucks, but like I said, they got a job to do. They got to keep their job, and I got to be able to do what they need me to do. So.
Yeah, when I was looking at your stats when we were searching it up a few days ago here, it was 11.2 innings pitched. I was like, man, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
So
first 3 weekends, and ended up, I just, like I said, I had that shoulder issue just kind of flare up a little bit again, and good news is nothing's torn. It's just some impingement, and some guys get over it super quick, and some guys don't. And unfortunately, I was just one of the guys that don't get over it.
Yeah.
It hurt. It hurt me, but it hurt the team as well. So, it's part of the game. That's the only bad part about baseball is the arm issues and all that.
Have you expressed interest in any schools currently, or are you able to talk about that at all yet?
So I haven't communicated with any schools. So I'm active in the portal that opens up June 3rd. I haven't communicated with them. I have my interest on a couple of the top schools in the top 10 in Division II. That I'd be more than happy to go with. But the goal is to go somewhere where, like I said, I can do my own thing, while also having coaches assistants. So not like me, being bigger than what they have for me to do. But being able to get in there, get my innings in, get my work in, no distractions, stuff like that. And then obviously money's going to come into it as well. Not NIL, just scholarship money. I don't care about any of that NIL stuff, but scholarship money, whatever can help out financially, and also give me the opportunity to be able to pitch as much as I need to, stay healthy, and get to obviously that next goal, which would be the MLB.
Yeah. So with you transferring over, I know it's maybe a little bit different in football. How's it in baseball? Do you have to sit out a year, or do you immediately start playing once you get to that new school?
So they used to have it to where you had to sit out a year. I believe I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. And then now, as long as you're eligible in the classroom, you've got a certain amount of your degree done, you've got all your credits and all that stuff. As long as that's taken care of, then you're able to hop right on the field and go and start playing, which is the good part about it. Because I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you deal with a lot of the football guys and stuff like that. You can transfer as much as you want for football, right?
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
I was even talking to a lot of the players that we've got in contact with. I mean, just weeks of hey, y'all, I'm transferring too. And it's the transfer portal. I don't know how it is in baseball if it's as big as it is here in football. It feels like a new guy's transferring every day.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, I know last summer there was 6,000 kids in the transfer portal for baseball, and there's usually only 3,000. And the rosters are a lot smaller. You got anywhere from 35 to 40 guys, and then some red shirts or something like that. That also go on top of that, but the roster is completely different with the football guys. I feel like they can get away with a lot more guys being in the transfer portal because their roster are 100 plus people.
Yeah.
Baseball, it's not so much like that, but it was pretty crazy last year and last summer, and I don't know how it's going to be this summer, but hopefully it brings out the same results. You
were talking a little bit about NIL deals. Have you expressed any interest? Do you have any NIL deals currently?
Yeah, so I've had a few come through. Only one of them that I made money off of, which was FlowX Jewelry, which they're a jewelry company that's out in Nashville, and they work with a couple of football guys at MT as well. And then I had one with Liquid IV, Accelerator, what else? Diamond Crew, which was a sunglass company, and then Emery Glove Co. is another one. They're kind of new and upcoming glove brand for baseball players. It's kind of like a 44 glove, but I think it has better material. And they did a fully custom job on a glove that I had wanted for a while. It was fully dedicated to my grandma and her cancer date, as well as my mom's birthday, and then a couple Bible verses on there. But they fully customized that thing for me, and they kind of messed with the pricing a little bit and dropped it down a bunch, and it's pretty much just kind of like a pay shipping and then some. But I was super grateful for that, and that was more of like an ambassadorship. So it was like the Liquid IV and Accelerator and all that. So I didn't really make any money off of those, but it was still a cool experience to, work with those companies and be able to kind of help them, boost out just a little bit and get my name out there with them as well and add that to a resume.
So this is kind of off the dome question here. Technically we are one of your NIL people now. Is that what I'm hearing?
You guys are one of them. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you would be, yeah.
Do we have to file for that, or do we have to put that on record?
I don't think we have to file for that.
Okay, good.
I'm not getting paid for anything. You're not getting paid through me, so I think we're all good in that section.
Yeah, when we first started out, like the few weeks, like we reach out to a lot of players. Like whenever we post about a player coming on, and like let's say when we post about you, like if a baseball player likes to post, we immediately reach out to him just to get connections. So we had one person. I'm not gonna say names here, but I mean, you gotta think here. We're 15 years old. We have no jobs right now, and like we're not making any money off of this. But if you guys do want to support, please tell your friends. We're like something 50 listeners away from getting monetized. So guys, please reach out. But they were like, "How much money are you gonna pay me?" I was like, "Listen, we don't got money. We don't have any money." No, it was a football player. It's a football player.
Maybe. No, dude. I love what you're doing. I love what you guys are doing. I think it's really cool. I think it's a great way to start building that resume for yourself at such a young age. I mean, it's hard to find kids that are young nowadays that are passionate about something and try to get their names out there at an early start. Because I mean, you never know what could happen. I mean, this could take off, and you could be, working with, end up getting some pro athletes or something at some point as you grow up. I mean,
oh yeah,
I'm very like happy to see you guys, hopping on here and doing stuff like this. Whether it's with college, high school, pro athletes, it doesn't matter. You're getting your name out there early and you're passionate about it, which is good to see.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be at all the home games at MTSU on the sideline, so that's a big jump. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that as well. Which y'all should come see me and then snag a pic. I'm gonna have to get at some baseball games. I don't know how to reach out. We're gonna have to get into some baseball games, record some content, something.
Oh yeah, I mean the side of the dugout, everything's always open. I'm not sure if you voiced your opinion on wanting to get in there and talk to Coach Myers about any other coaches, I'm sure they wouldn't have an issue with that at all.
Oh yeah. Was there a college you almost committed to instead of MTSU?
There's a lot. I had a bunch of phone calls. The first 48 hours, my phone was kind of blowing up. My stats were really good the year previously, and I played well and worked my butt off and all that. And there was definitely a high amount of interest, decent amount of Power Fives and all that, but I can't really say that I was almost going to commit somewhere. I got a couple phone calls on the way home and a couple of emails after I verbally committed here, and I was just like, yeah, it's whatever. I did my fair share of speaking with coaches, but I mean, Coach Nichols, he was the one that recruited me, and he just did a really good job. I mean, our first conversation that him and I had was on a personal basis, and he got to know me on a personal basis, and know a little bit about my past and everything about me as a person before we even talked about baseball. So that was kind of something that stuck out to me, and it made it easy to just be like, I could see this as being home. And he was one of those guys where I was like, this guy would give me the shirt off of his back if it came down to it. And we developed a mutual level of respect, and I was just like, I could easily see myself coming here and being involved in an environment like that. And, he's the type of all of our coaches are the type of coaches that will look out for you in every way possible. They're always there for you. Their door's always open. And there's a lot of schools that you can't get that at. And I haven't against any schools that I couldn't get that at, but it was just, there was just another level that, I appreciated, and it just made it, like I said, it made it easy to want to come here and call this place home.
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing with like just small schools like MTSU. I'm just gonna go and say it is like they almost get that family love instead of like these bigger schools like Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Florida, all these other big schools. You get that like that real connection. I feel like that's hard to get at a lot of bigger schools.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I've got a few buddies that have said the same thing where they're just like, I'm at a bigger school, and it's like I don't even talk to the coach. I'm just like, well, and they're like, yeah, like I'm gonna transfer, but and I feel like some guys, they make if you make an effort to kind of form a connection with a coach as well, like at those bigger schools, then you'll end up having one. But if you're just like a guy that kind of just does his work and listens to what he's told and just puts his head down, like they'll have that mutual respect for you because you work your butt off and do all that other stuff. But sometimes you just don't get a connection with a coach. It's different everywhere, and that's like the best part about sports is like everywhere is different. You don't really find a place that's exactly the same.
So with going from high school baseball to Western Carolina to MTSU and now entering the transfer portal, this journey had to start somewhere. When did you start playing baseball?
So I started playing baseball when I was 3 years old. And my parents always said, you were born with a glove in your hand and all this stuff. And my brother played high school baseball. My other brother was like number 2 in the nation, or not in the nation, in North Carolina for tennis.
Wow.
And then my sister played volleyball. So really just I grew up in a house full of athletes. And, my uncles all played sports. My uncle, actually, one of them played for the Cincinnati Reds. And he played at NC State. So, he's always kind of been there along for that journey. And he's from the Charlotte area as well. But, it's just like I always looked up to kind of my brother. I saw him doing stuff in baseball, and I saw him playing in middle school when I was in elementary school, and I saw him playing in high school when I was in middle school. And so he was kind of my person to chase, and I was like, I wanted to be like him, but I also wanted to be better than him. There's that competitive, brotherly love in there. It's just like, I got to be better than him because he's my brother.
Yeah.
But outside of that, that's where it all started. And the transition from high school to college, I feel like it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be. I had a really good high school coach, Jeff Stack. He knew what he was doing, and he was a good coach. He knew how to make us have fun and to let us have fun while also still working our butts off and being competitive in the game of baseball. And then, my travel ball coach, so I played on the national team for the association that I played for in travel ball in high school. And Jake Robbins, he did a really good job with all of us. And, we had our few set of guys on that team that he was like, you guys are going to be really good if you just work towards it. And then I didn't play my senior year because our high school did something where they messed up my schedule and allowed me to like flex 2 classes the first semester. And it ended up making me ineligible to play senior year. So I didn't have anything except for, summer ball going into college, the year of. But I'd say, with what I had happening, it was definitely easier to adjust than I thought it was going to be from a competition-wise and talent-wise and all that. I feel like I handled it pretty well.
You mentioned travel ball. What are your thoughts on parents or kids that feel like they have to play travel ball to get to that next level or to get to where they're wanting to go in life? What are your thoughts on just like, especially just travel ball being so expensive and time consuming? And a lot of sports are expensive and time consuming. What are your thoughts on travel ball?
I think, the more expensive that it is, so like you've got like the place that I played at was like $3,000 a year, and that was for fall and summer. But we played in the best tournaments. We played in all the perfect game tournaments, all the PBR tournaments, the national tournaments, all that. And then we had our like one fun tournament that we'd go in as well, like at the beach or something like that. But I think if you want to get your name out there and you want to get noticed as a high school athlete and you want to only better yourself and play, good competition outside of just like what you could be playing in high school ball, I think that playing travel ball is a very necessary thing. Like I said, you see all the kids nowadays that are younger that are throwing like super hard as pitchers, or the hitters that are like really, really good because they're working really hard every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You see stuff like that, and it's like you don't get to face that in high school as much.
Yeah.
You get to face that by going to, the Lake Point tournament down in Georgia and face, the top 100 teams in the country that'll be down there. You get that by going to showcases for PBR, for Perfect Game, and get your name out there like that and get, the grades and the rankings and all that. So I think that stuff's super necessary to do, especially the travel ball part, and especially like if you want to have fun and baseball and make memories and go on, cool trips and experience what baseball is like really about in high school. That's another part of travel. I have, a bunch of memories from travel ball, and I wouldn't trade those for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think about those, a couple times a month when I'm just sitting there thinking about baseball, and I'm just like, man, like I miss those days, but now I'm just like I'm doing what I want to do now. So yeah, I definitely recommend that stuff to people.
So you wear number 27 currently, is what I believe. Is there a reason behind 27?
So growing up, my brother and I always wore the same number.
Mm-hmm.
And, we started off with 13 because we both played third base. And his first one was like Alex Rodriguez, and mine was Derek Jeter. I grew up watching Derek Jeter. He was kind of my role model. But being at third base, being as big as I was, I never got to wear two. And then a kid that I grew up with, he plays at NC State right now, but his name is Brandon Butterworth. He always got number 2. And that was like his number, and mine was always 13 because we played up on the same team. And, my brother went to 27 in high school, and his person kind of became Mike Trout. And so I just kind of I always wore what he wore. Like I said, I kind of looked up to him, tried to follow in his footsteps a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and to be better than him. So, kind of became my number.
Wow, so you just been following 27 the whole time. So is your brother still playing at all?
No, so he has his own business right now, and he does sports cards.
Oh, wow.
He's out of college and everything, and he's doing what he loves. And we used to collect those, when we were kids and stuff. And so it just kind of continued to go forward for him. And he was just like, I'm going to take a chance and go for it all and see if I can do it. And he's been very successful so far, and I still look up to him for that reason. Is he never quits. He always goes all the way in, and I have yet to see him fail doing that and giving his all. So he's another person that I look up to, or I still look up to him every single day because of that.
So does he make the cards, or does he just get the cards and sell them?
So yeah, he has chops, and he has the cards. He's got a resale license from Tops.
Oh, wow.
They produce all the cards, or a decent amount of them. And he's got 3 shops, one in Boca Raton, one in Charleston, and one in Charlotte, and he's about to franchise it out. But he sends all the cards away to get graded if he like cleans them up and thinks that they should be for customers, and then he does like live breaks on Whatnot, Instagram, like all that stuff. And then obviously he has them in the shops, and he sells like individual cards and boxes and all that stuff. So he does a very good job with it, and he loves what he does, and he's always traveling and meeting new people, and he's got a great team with him. So yeah.
Was that B-roll that just went off?
Oh yeah, did you hear that?
I'm gonna have to take my B-roll. Hold up.
I didn't realize my ringer was still on. I had it.
You're gonna have to add me on B-roll here.
100%. I don't post on it anymore. I get all like I see it, I'm just like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that.
This is the first time you're gonna post here in a long while. That's what it sounds like. I was like,
Yeah.
gosh, that really sounds like Be Real.
Yeah, I didn't know you could like hear it through the phone. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know either. We're learning new things every day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
How hard is it to get recruited as a pitcher, and what differences do you think are in that compared to other positions?
Gosh, that's a good question. I feel like it's harder to get recruited as a position player.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that I say that is pitchers, you can have so many of them.
Yeah.
Like every team's got 20 pitchers or something like that. And like you have like 20 position players as well, or however the coaches choose to divvy it up. But at the same time, like you usually only got like 2 first basemen, 2 second basemen, 2 shortstops, 2 third basemen, or a couple utility guys that can bounce back and forth, and then you got your few catchers in there. When pitchers, you have a bunch of them, but I'd say the hardest part about like the pitcher's face when it comes to being recruited is like you got to throw strikes, you got to get ahead of batters, you got to keep your ERA low. You got to be like just efficiently competing against batters. And I'd say that most coaches, from what I have been told at least, most coaches look in a starter. They look to find can he throw 3 pitches for a strike consistently? Is his strike percentage high? Does he not walk a lot of guys? Does he have this many more strikeouts than walks? Does he have this many more? Does he have like a little bit of hits? Like is his whip low against him? Is like there's a bunch of stuff that factor into it, but I'd say it's far harder to get recruited as a position player, just because you can have more pitchers, and like if you're just a position player that's not so much a utility guy, but you're for one position, like you're competing with everyone else that's in that position.
Yeah.
But there's also you can't have as many people as you can pitchers. So that's the only thing the main thing that I'd say that differentiates pitchers and position players, at least from what I think about it.
Yeah. I feel like, so I do rec ball at Sportscom. You know where that is?
I do not know where that is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's like rec baseball. It's by the airport.
Okay, is it? I think I know what you're talking about. They've got like 7 or 8 fields over there.
Yeah.
Kind of like linked up to each other.
So my coach actually played on MTSU. I don't know if he was there when you guys were there and whatnot. I think he left about like 3 or so years ago. But like our team, the thing about rec ball is the pitchers throw so many balls and not strikes.
Yeah.
Like we sat out there 1 inning for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, that's never fun.
So I don't know. You might need to come over there and start pitching for us. We need to shave the beard off. Well, actually, there is some players with beards actually out there, so that we may not have to do that. What are?
I might have to come out there and do that. Or at least spit it out.
Yeah, you need to come be. I'm sure he would love you as an assistant coach. You need to come to our pitchers, okay? You need to come train them.
I actually, I do like virtual training when I'm home in Charlotte. Like I do virtual training for people. I did a couple trainings with Instacoach up here. Did a couple in-person training sessions for a couple people. But now I'm all virtual training, programming, and stuff like that since I'm back home in Charlotte.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely need you.
Yeah, places that I've trained at, it's just I've kind of built up a bunch of knowledge. And when I got hurt the first time, I also just took like 1.5 to 2 years to kind of study the body of a pitcher and the things that you need to do to stay in shape. And keep your arm healthy and all that. And sometimes I'm guilty of getting away from doing that stuff, and that's why I ended up hurt again. But it happens. I mean, it's part of the sport. But
yeah,
that's something that tried to start, and I've wanted to start, and if like the MLB or something doesn't work out, then I want to have my own training facility after college, and maybe like coach a little bit on the side or something like that, and build my resume up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What are some of your favorite teammates? Some of those key teammates. These can be from high school, Western Carolina, MTSU. Some of your key teammates you can point out.
From high school, it's a long time ago. I'd have to say definitely in high school was Brandon Butterworth, Greg Bella, Jacob Bowman. I'd say those were probably like my three mains. Greg Bello and Brandon Butterworth are the two that I grew up with playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I've known them since, gosh, I was probably like 6 or so when I first met them. But that's a good group of guys right there. Just nothing but respect for them. You know, they play hard. They work hard. You know, Butterworth, he's going to get drafted this year. I'd be very surprised if he didn't go top 3 rounds.
Wow.
And you know that kid, he's always been like coaches, and I mean I'm sure he'd tell you this too. Coaches have always kind of been like, oh, like, you know, you're too small or something like that. Like he's a spitting image of like those, you know, videos that you see like, oh, this kid's too small or something like that, and he just like took the chance to bet on himself. And you know he works harder than a lot of people that I know, and it was like if you saw him out and about, like he was throwing a lacrosse ball against the wall and working on picking it, or you know, just doing stuff like that, working on, you know, fielding, working on footwork 24/7. So, you know, kid works his butt off, super hard worker. Same with Jacob Bowman and Greg Bell. You know, those guys, they work hard too. And they're, I think Jacob's down at a JUCO in Florida. I can't remember where Greg is at. But those are 3 guys from high school that work super hard. From Western Carolina, I'd have to say, you know, just guys that stood out to me. My freshman year is Zebby Matthews and Zach Franklin, as well as Pascal Ferreras and Zach Ketterman. Zebby Matthews got drafted to the Twins my freshman year. Zach Franklin he transferred to Missouri and then signed. He ended up signing this past year to the White Sox, I believe.
Oh wow!
But Zebby and Zach, like those guys, they didn't play around, you know. And I remember when I was younger, or not when I was younger, but when I was a freshman, I actually had a conversation with our pitching coach there, and I was like, you know, when am I going to get an opportunity and stuff? Because I hadn't pitched in a while. And you know, I was like, what do I have to do to get in? What do I have to do to get the ball? Like, what do I have to do to pitch? And the one thing that he said that stuck with me ever since was, he was like, you guys, and it's not just you, but you and everyone else are okay with Zebby and Zach Franklin and Paz and Zach Ketterman, like all those guys outworking you every single day.
Yeah.
And that was something that stuck with me. And that's when I decided to, you know, say like, all right, I gotta get trained. Like I gotta start working my butt off. I gotta start doing this, that, and the other. And so that's when that kind of became like a reality to me. And then sophomore year there, freshman year, I forgot to say Brandon Butterworth as well. He went to Western Carolina as well. And then Pascal Ferreras, Nate Stokeham, Zach Ketterman, and Brandon Butterworth, all my sophomore year. So kind of the same group of guys, and you know, they just worked super hard. And Paz actually just got promoted to Double-A for the Astros.
Oh wow!
So he got drafted last year in last year's draft, and he's already up to Double-A. That kid, I mean, he's one of the most clutch hitters I've ever seen. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we were down 4 runs and there's bases loaded and the pass comes up and everyone's like, yep, pulling out the bomb car, like he's going to home run right here. And he always did.
Wow.
And he was just great situationally hitting. He was great in the field. He was a great leader. So was Zach Ketterman. So was Nate Stokeham. So was Brandon Butterworth. Like all those guys, they led by example. Not just on the field, but off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just good group of guys. Ketterman, he was the lucky number 7, the legacy. So that's usually who whoever gets that is like the guy that is the main captain and all that, and hard working on and off the field. Great leader, all that stuff. So he ended up getting that, and just a good group of guys right there. And then MT, I'd have to say, there's so many of them. James Sells, great dude, good leader. Cole Torbett. Pretty much everyone on the pitching staff was great. Same thing with position players.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave Jennings, Luke Vincent, Eston Snyder. Those guys were all captains as well, and they just they were good guys. Led by example. Really just well-rounded guys. They did a good job with everything, and there's really not a single person that I could say on our team that just wasn't a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was super well-rounded. So yeah, that's for those 3 schools. For high school and college. That's pretty much where we're at.
Well, if any of those teammates you listed off, or any current teammates you have that want to come on the podcast, give them our number. We'll definitely love to have some players on. We have yet to have a pro player on, so we're trying to get any sport get a pro player.
I might be able to hook you up with a pro player again on here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, don't hesitate to give them our number at all.
Yeah, of course.
And if you guys have any players that you guys want to come on, just reach out to us. Hit us in the DMs at the Champ Pod on Instagram, y'all. You guys should also follow the Champ Pod on Instagram to get the latest updates on who's coming on. Matt Schepel, a lot of other players we announced coming on. You guys can get your questions, and we'll get to the Instagram questions here a little bit later. Next question: what are some milestones you want to accomplish in these upcoming years?
So I'd say the first one is I gotta find a school to go to. I gotta find my next home. So that's what we'll start with, and then a long term goal would be signing that contract after college.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what everything comes down to. With how hard I've worked, is I'm working towards that. But outside of that, there's a lot more. And I want to be part of a college championship. I want to be part of a regional and all that. I want to work towards that. I want to get with a team that we can get there and win the whole thing and just share that moment. It doesn't even have to be it's not even about me at that point. It's about the team, and it's about everyone else that's part of it. And it's so much bigger than an individual sport when it comes to baseball. It's so much bigger than that, and that's just just sharing those moments with a team of guys, all working towards the same goal. And that's something that I had at Western, something that I had here, and unfortunately, we didn't get to it at Western, and there's no telling if we're going to get to it this year. With MT season's not over yet. There's a lot left to do. We got conference tournament coming up, and I got a feeling that those boys are gonna put a hurting on La Tech, and then going into the second round with a win under their belt, and take it all the way to championship and win the thing, and then go to a regional. I got nothing but faith in those guys, and they're a bunch of hardworking dudes, and they want it bad. So that's what it all comes down to. Is those are the next steps, at least on my end for the next couple of years.
Yeah. What was it like to get your first college offer?
It was actually from Western Carolina. And Taylor Sandifer was a pitching coach. And he called me up. He came to see me. I threw it. Well, actually, Coach Miranda saw me at Lake Point. And there's a bunch of other scouts there, and I think I threw 6 innings that game. And I had 15 strikeouts. So it was a
wow.
good game. And then Coach Sandifer came and saw me when we were playing a tournament close to the home, and we had a game at Wingate, and that game threw a complete game. And he called me up after that, and he was like, "Hey Matt, like this is Coach Sandifer from Western Carolina. I just came out and saw you pitch." And he's like, you did good and all that. And then he was like, "So I heard you like shoes." And we started talking about shoes and Yeezys and Jordans and all that stuff. And then he finally, he got down to me. He's like, "Yeah, well, we'd like to get you up for a visit and give you an offer." And I just remember, after getting on that phone call, I looked at my dad. And I was like, "Well, I got an offer lined up." And, it was just nothing but, excitement to kind of just like the way that I looked at it was, I was looking, kind of back to my younger self that would like always dream about having a phone call like this. I like that. And even getting the opportunity to talk to a college coach that was interested in me, let alone at the Division I level, but any other level. And, it was nothing but pure joy and happiness.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine. I feel like I hear, at least on MLB The Show, I don't know if you play MLB The Show at all. Do you play it at all?
I actually don't play video games.
We might have to change that. I heard.
Probably gonna get some hate for that. I do a lot of reading and studying in my free time. Because like I said, I'm gonna try to open up my own facility. So if I'm not like just kind of relaxing a little bit, I try to look into stuff about that.
Oh yeah, I know. At least from like just commentating on like MLB The Show, like the commentators have said like Max Fried, who that is on the Braves.
Yeah, of course.
So he like apparently does some of his like scouting on MLB The Show in the off season. So I don't know if you want to look into that or not.
I'm definitely. I might have to take a look at that. Everyone talks to me about the show, and I'm just like, I played it one time on my roommate's PlayStation, and I did like one at bat, got a perfect, but it was like a line drive.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, that is the one thing about baseball is sometimes you do everything right and it just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I agree with you on that.
What does a day or week in the life of an MTSU baseball pitcher look like?
It's a lot of show up to the field. A lot of our guys hang out in the locker room. The alumni. Donate a lot of money. We got a good locker room in there. Got a pool table, ping pong table, all that, kitchen. So a lot of guys will go in there, hang out for a little bit. Me personally, I then I'll hang out there for a little bit after I'm done with class, and then I'll go talk to Quinn for a little bit, see what I got to do for the day, my arm right, body right, and then I'll go and stretch out. I like to stretch out a decent amount of time before. I try not to steer too far away from a starting pitcher program throughout the week, so I'll get in there an hour early, stretch for a little bit, get the body feeling good. Then we'll go out and throw, do all that stuff before practice, do our team stretch, all that, get into some defenses, and then we'll go into our actual throwing for the day. Then we go to weights, lift. By the time that's done, it's about 6 o'clock. Go eat, shower, freshen up, and then we're good for the rest of the day.
So you are a busy man.
Yes, sir. I'd say so. Just a little bit.
We are super happy to announce we are now partners with The Boulevard. The Boulevard is so good here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, on 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard, guys. Absolutely amazing food. I was literally just there 2 days ago. The Boulevard is so good, and they support MTSU as they're literally like in walking distance from there. They're right on basically MTSU's campus It is so good. If you guys want to call into the Boulevard, it's 615-624-8002. And if you guys want the address, it's 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Guys, make sure you go check out the Boulevard. They have some absolutely great service, too. Love the staff there. The staff there is amazing. And the food is even better. Guys, make sure you go check them out. They are a bar and grill here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The Boulevard at 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Once again, that's 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard. And the number is 615-624-8002. Once again, that's 615-624-8002. Thank you so much, the Boulevard. All right, well, we are getting into some of the rapid-fire questions. You can answer these really quickly. You can expand on whatever you want to do. But these rapid-fire questions are presented to you by Brunch and Brew. Get your brunch and brew here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Go check them out. Instagram questions. You're speaking about Bowman, actually. JBowman_02 says, best Sun Valley baseball moment.
Best Sun Valley baseball moment has to be when actually Jacob Bowman and so we used to have these coyotes that we put on the field to keep the ducks away.
Mm-hmm.
And we dressed them up. We gave them a whole like a money sign diamond chain. We put like a Cuban link on them, headbands, some glasses, a shirt, and everything. And every single time that we scored or something, we just like throw them up in the air, put them on top of the dugout, and I'd say when we first like decided to do something like that, that was a pretty good moment. Senior year, making it all the way to semifinals for the state championship as well. Even though I couldn't play, I went to every single one of those games. And that was probably one of the best times I've had. You know, obviously I wish I could have been playing, but you know, one of the best times just getting to experience something like that.
Favorite MLB team?
The Yankees. Love the Yankees. Watched them growing up, but also a little bit of a Braves fan because that was the first MLB game I ever went to. But truly a Yankees fan.
I know you weren't much of a gamer, but Xbox or PlayStation?
I grew up on Xbox.
That's the right choice right there. But what are you now? Is it Xbox or PlayStation?
I gotta say Xbox.
That's right. That's right. We got another one. Let's go, baby. If you weren't playing pitcher, what position would you want to play?
First base.
First base.
Yeah, I play that. I do that in BP time. I'm over there picking balls and stuff. So.
Oh wow. Well, you got the height. You got the size for it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Are you left? You say you're right-handed. Right-handed.
Yes.
Favorite college baseball team besides MTSU and Western Carolina?
I'd have to say Tennessee. They're just fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Tennessee's fun to watch, and so is Arkansas. Arkansas is also really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. I know Tennessee's got some pretty good jerseys. What baseball team in college do you think has the best jerseys?
I want to say Ole Miss because they're baby blues.
Mm-hmm.
Their baby blues are so nice.
Dude, I'm a sucker for the baby blues.
Yeah.
MTSU, we don't have baby blues, do we? We need to get some.
We do not.
We need to get some. Get them stat. Dude, those be crispy.
Yeah.
Favorite stadium you've ever played in? LSU's. When did you go to LSU?
We played there, so that's where our Marushi World Series was. I actually pitched in that game. Started off, lost the first guy, and then we had a 45-minute long rain delay, and then went out through 6 shutout innings against the Louisiana Knights, which was like the number 2 team in the nation at the time.
Wow.
But that was, and like half of their team was committed to LSU.
Holy smokes.
The rain delay definitely got to them a little bit. But that was best atmosphere. That stadium's so cool. We got to have a home run derby in it the night before, like all the teams that were sponsored by Marushi. It was just an all around really cool experience.
Wow. Man, so did you guys drive there or did you guys all take a plane?
So we flew there. The majority of guys flew there, and we had a kid on our team. His dad had a private jet, so some guys flew there. and all that. But
I love how you just simply go, yeah, one of our teammates had a dad with a private jet.
some guys would fly with him that like we would fly in for like the tournament, but
Pre-game music, yes or no?
yes, 100% love pregame music.
What type of music are we listening to?
I listen to some rap. There's some rock in there, some house music, and then usually I get made fun of this sometimes, but
It's Taylor, isn't it? Okay.
no, sometimes I'll like right before I'm about to get on the mound, I kind of meditate a little bit and I'll throw some classical music on, a little instrumental. I'll throw that on and kind of get rocking with that and relax the body a little bit and just visualize success.
What do you eat before a game? Do you have a certain snack you like to eat?
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
What do you get at Chipotle?
2 scoops of each rice, fajita veggies, double chicken, queso, corn, pico, and sometimes I'll get lettuce, and then I'll throw extra tortilla on there so that I got like a whole bowl and a burrito out of it.
You know, I hear Christian Yelich likes Chipotle apparently, so I guess this is a growing thing among baseball players.
Yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
That's a great question, actually. Man, that's difficult. United States, I'd have to say either Texas or Florida.
That's some good answers.
Also, really love Colorado. Colorado's beautiful.
Oh yeah, those mountains.
If we're going for overall though, I'd probably have to say somewhere in Europe.
Europe. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Most famous person in your contacts.
Oh gosh.
If you want to check, you can.
Let's see. I've got a couple scouts in here. I guess you could definitely consider them famous. Let's see. Oh, Luke Little. He's the pitcher for the Cubs. He got drafted off of a video of him throwing 105.
Holy smokes. If you can get Luke Little on the podcast, that would be awesome.
I'll see what I can do for you. But I'd say, I mean, just off the top of my head, that or any of the scouts that like I have in my phone.
Are these like college scouts or like MLB scouts?
MLB. So I got just a couple of them in there that I consider them famous because they're with MLB teams. So, but yeah, I mean, just off the top of my head, I'd go with that.
What is the amount of contacts you have on your phone?
Oh gosh, how do you even? Oh, right there. 292.
Dang, well, we're catching up. We're catching up. we're almost there. We're at like 209 or something like that. So,
oh heck yeah!
So
we'll be there next time, man.
Oh yeah.
I got faith in you.
Favorite food place?
Probably Kanye Prime in Nashville or the Capitol Grill in Charlotte.
What are we getting there?
So my brother took me to Kanye Prime for my 21st birthday, and we got a 24-ounce bone-in tomahawk ribeye.
Dang.
We got Japanese A5 Wagyu. We got corn creme brulee, truffle baked mac and cheese, Brussels sprouts, cream of spinach, potato casserole, and then we got their bread there was amazing. And then we got, I can't remember what my dessert was. It was like a white chocolate mousse with like caramel drizzle on it.
Dang, so you went all out for the 21st birthday.
Yeah, that place was amazing. That was the best food I've ever had in my life.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man, I don't watch a lot of TV or anything like that, but
You seem very old school with books.
I'm kind of a nerd, man. I'd say movie wise, probably Moneyball.
Oh, Moneyball is so good.
Moneyball, The Sandlot, or American Sniper. I think those are three really good movies.
Those are some good options.
Yeah, I like all three of those. We've watched them a million times.
Well, if you want to shout out your Instagram, if you want to shout out all your socials, you can now.
Oh yeah, so my Instagram is matt.schepel, and then the TikTok is the same thing. Twitter is just Matt Schepel, but y'all go ahead and give those a follow. Would be greatly appreciated.
Oh yeah, go check him out. Go give him a follow, y'all. You have any final words for the Champ Podcast people?
Yeah, y'all just keep doing your thing, and you know, if you believe in God, you know, keep believing. He's great. He's the reason why we're all here. He's the reason that I've had the success that I have, and he's my Lord and Savior. And you know, like that, I wouldn't be where I am without him. So, you know, if you guys, you know, believe in him or have any, you know, times where you think he's not working, he's working.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's slow or fast, and just put your faith in him, put your trust in his plan, and you'll get to where you want to go. And just don't stop believing, don't stop being you.
Oh yeah, love that. We appreciate you coming on. If any of your friends who want to come on, have them reach out to us. We would love to have some pro players even on the podcast. If you ever want to come on again, Matt, just reach out to us. We can get it set up later on or 5 minutes, whatever we want to do.
Yeah, man, of course. I appreciate you, Isaiah.
Appreciate you coming on. Any final words?
I'd say that's it, man. Have a good day. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We the champs. Peace.